Here we go. Focus. Speed. I am speed.
We will never sleep, cause sleep is for the weak. That we will never rest, so we're all fucking dead.
No, sir, man. I don't like that crap. I'm a rocker, dude, through and through. Here's my favorite bands. AC/DC, Van Halen, not Van Hagar, Skinner, Def Leppard.
All right. We're on in 5 minutes.
We're headlining. We shouldn't be going on until at least 11.
It's the prom. It's over at 11.
Are you ready?
I've been ready.
Okay. You don't have to yell at me.
You're about to get nothing. I'm about to go to bed. Are you?
All right. And, yeah, so we are here doing this, finally.
Finally.
This is episode number 8 of the Independent Musician's Guide podcast, and I'm here with Autumn Ragland of the band Ragland. Ragland, sorry.
Pronounce it, please.
Okay.
Overpronounce it, please.
For the first ever, even up till now, if we do new interviews, it's always, is it Ragland or Ragland? So set the record straight. Which one is it?
It's Ragland.
What are you looking at in there?
I was checking to make sure a dog wasn't getting in my leftover Mexican food I left on the counter. Just in queso in there. Let it simmer in the room temperature. Way that.
This is our house.
Yeah.
This is our life, y'all. Take out Mexican food. What did we do tonight? We watched
Good Lord.
Little Dicky on Hulu.
Yeah. We put together a bunk bed for our 5-year-old.
We
That
did.
was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
They mailed it to us in 30,000 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even exaggerating.
It couldn't have been more taken apart than it was.
No, it was bullshit.
There was probably, when you think about it, with all this nuts and bolts and all the individual pieces, there's probably like over 100 pieces different.
Oh my God, it was
things
ridiculous.
that we had to put together. Yeah.
It was horrible. I'll never do it again.
So anyway, we're here in our studio. We just moved into this house 3 months ago.
That was only 3 months ago?
Yeah. Wait, no, what's it right now? Well, technically it's July now. Maybe 4 months ago.
Still.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Our life has been kind of really insane over the last year and a half, and
yeah, time is passing ridiculously fast.
Yeah.
My eyes twitching again. It's from the
so
stress.
Weird.
Can you
is that
see
what
it?
it is?
Oh my God.
Why do you have so much stress? What's going on?
Bro, literally my life is crazy. I have a kid. I have a husband.
You gotta get rid of that husband. It's too stressful.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
I was telling somebody the other day, I said, whenever Ragland went on a break in 2018 and then we came back, there was no pressure.
No pressure?
Yeah. Well, we didn't really go on a break back then. We just kind of moved. And
I get what you mean.
And then, but now coming back into all this.
There's a lot of pressure.
We were talking about it yesterday. We haven't even played a show yet as Ragland. And we have been working day in and day out for 2 months straight on.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
All of the press, all of the radio stuff, all of the
artwork.
Yeah.
All of the live show.
So much stuff. Redesigning new merch, yeah.
Yeah.
Live show, rehearsals.
Mm-hmm. Rehearsals have been intense.
Round the clock stuff. It's
we just want to make sure people get good music.
Yeah. I kind of miss the days when we weren't
taking it so serious.
You could say that. Anyway, I want to thank a couple sponsors before we hop crazy into this, because I know that a lot of people are going to want to hear Autumn talk about her life story. So, Anyway, big shout out to Buffalo Apparel Company. If you guys are needing some new swag, and I say this all the time on this podcast, but if you're like me and you gained the quarantine 15 and you need some new shirts or whatever, go on down to the description below or up above, depending on which platform you're listening to this on, and go check them out. IMG Buffalo, capitalize the IMG for Independent Musician's Guide, and they give you a pretty hefty discount on everything that you order. So it's pretty cool, huh?
Sounds badass.
All right. And then next we got Rose Rock Coffee. You ever had that?
Yum.
Rose Rock Coffee is pretty cool. You guys can order it straight from them, or you guys can go to a lot of different locations in and around the Northeast Oklahoma area. I think the 2 places that we get Rose Rock at the most, maybe 3. Hungry House.
Hungry House closed down.
They did?
Finally, yeah.
Since
I'm
when?
sad. It was a while back. I know. Me and my mom were going to go there for breakfast, and then we were like, oh my gosh, it finally closed down.
No way.
But yeah, and then Black and Tan, I think, uses Rose
Yeah,
Rock.
I was about to say Black and Tan, and then Brewster's also uses.
Brewster's and Black and Tan are the same.
Yeah. Oh, they are? Oh,
Owner.
it's just like
They're
the same owner. That would make so much sense. We get
Yeah.
coffee there like literally every day.
It's so good.
Yeah. And it's so calming. It's not like Rose Rock is so
Yeah.
different than, I don't want to like bash on any other like coffee places here in town or whatever, but it just almost gives me the jitters sometimes. But Rose Rock is like,
Oh, yeah, I get you.
You know
It's
what I mean?
different.
Yeah.
It's not as bad.
so,
I get you. I
Yeah,
know
you know what I'm talking
specifically
about.
what you're talking about.
I got sidetracked. Wow, Hungry House closed down. Anyway, Rose Rock is based out of Northeast Oklahoma, right here in Tahlequah, same as Buffalo. And if you guys are just big fans of coffee, if you guys are like just fueled by coffee first thing in the morning, highly to recommend checking them out. The number one coffee brand in America. I took a poll and I was the one on it,
Yeah.
and you were on it.
Oh, yeah.
So 100% of the polls said that Rose Rock coffee was the best coffee ever.
That was a good poll.
Mm-hmm.
Good
So-
memories.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, make sure you check out Rose Rock as well as Buffalo Apparel. You guys can check them out in the description below, or up above, again, depending on which platform you're listening to this on. So anyway, we're here with Autumn Ragland of Ragland.
Hey.
And
Hey.
what's up?
Ask me some questions.
Ask you some questions.
me.
About what?
I don't care.
Okay, cool. We're going to start with the background.
Okay.
So Autumn Ragland started playing guitar at what age?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know.
And I know all these questions, but I'm just seeing what you remember about yourself. I know you've answered a lot of these in radio interviews over the years.
I know, but I feel like
But I
I
need you
don't
to say
ever
it all
actually
again.
remember, so I just kind of bullshit my way through. I think I want to say like 10 maybe I started
Yeah.
playing guitar, but then like I kind of set it down for a while, and then around like age 12, 13, I got serious about it. Yeah.
What made you serious about it?
I wanted to play guitar specifically so I could put my lyrics to an instrument. That was it. My dad would be like, "Hey, can I hear some of your songs?" And I'd be like, "Dad, not until I learn guitar." So yeah, that was the rule. And then I did. I played people's songs once I learned how to play guitar.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then a few years after that, you and I met in school.
Yep.
And you were in junior high, and I was in high school. Mm-hmm. But we didn't get together at that time yet.
No, we did not. I just
We
sat
got
next to
together
you.
later in life.
I just sat next to you in the choir bus and pined for you.
Even though I was like a few years older than you
Yeah.
in high school.
I thought you were badass. I was like, "Oh my god, he's
Well,
so
I had
cool."
long,
Dreads.
very long hair. I was a hippie, and somehow I sang bass. I was like,
I know. Wow.
I was like a skinny hippie
Bass
kid. Yeah, I don't know. I was a weird dude in high school.
You're cute.
Thanks, I appreciate it. But fast forward a few years after that, I graduate high school. Autumn's in high school, and then we kind of reconnect.
Yeah.
How did that happen? You tell me.
How did that happen? My brother had a wife. He does not have a wife now. My parents have been divorced for years. I'm sorry. He had a wife.
For anybody that doesn't know, that was some lyrical references.
Yes.
You get a gold star if you know what that is.
Yeah. So my brother had a wife, and well, I guess they were only dating at the time. And she said, or no, they weren't even together then. I'm just making this connection because that's how I know them. You guys were just cousins. You guys were cousins. I know this is some really redneck shit right
Yeah.
now. Sam's cousin was my brother's wife at one point.
But it and then they got married, but it didn't cross any like bloodlines or
No.
anything.
Because Sam's,
Even if I wasn't adopted,
yeah.
then it would
still
have
would have
been
been fine.
okay.
Yeah, just don't worry, guys. Don't
Because it was
worry.
just marriage.
Yeah, don't worry. Our children would have only been first and third cousins. It's
Yeah,
no
it was
big deal.
kind of weird.
I'm my own grandpa, crazy shit right there. So we were friends like in school, me and the wife, because this is before anybody got married or got together. And
You can just name her. Hunter's only had one wife.
I know. I just
Are you trying to leave all the names out of
you
this?
never know.
Okay.
People may not
Alright.
know.
Okay.
Okay, and so she was like, "Hey, my cousin sings, and I love your voice. Like, I'm such a fan." And I was like, "Dope." And she was like, "You should sing with that." It wasn't exactly like that. And she was like, you guys should sing a song together." And I was like, "Okay." And so I don't know who messaged who first. I think I messaged you first, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
No, I think I messaged you first.
Yeah, and you were kind of a douchebag.
I was probably a very arrogant douchebag.
Yes. And I was like, what is his problem? And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, he's really hot, but I don't want to deal with this. And so we lost contact for a little bit, and then you finally broke up with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, we should get together and do this song. And then I was like, sure. And then you were like, also, I like to like get to know the people I work with before I work with them. Would you want to go to this concert with me?
You tell people about this all the time.
Because
I do
it's
not remember
hilarious.
saying this.
That is exactly what you said, though. You said, hey, I really like to get to know people before. I think we should get to know each other before we record this song together. And I was like, he's definitely asking me out right now. And I literally dumped my boyfriend so I could go on a date with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I know. We were
Worst
serious.
decision you've ever made.
No, it was a good decision.
And then we got together and recorded a song in the studio. And this was back in 2013. We were both literally still teenagers. And yeah. And then what happened after that? Like, you just hopped in my van and opened as Autumn Ragland for Sam Cox Band.
Put on a lot of eyeliner.
Yeah.
So I looked older.
Literally nobody that we traveled with was old enough to get in the bar.
Yeah, but
That
I
we played in.
looked even younger.
Any of the bars.
I looked even younger. I
Yeah.
looked like a baby. So I'd wear like really short skirts and lots of makeup and fix my hair and
You used to wear like fishnet pantyhose and stuff like that.
I've always done that.
You know, and like
But yeah.
Converse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
That's
all this
I don't know
noise?
why that I remember all that. Is that
Is
the
our
cat?
dog being ridiculous? Jude. Jude. Yeah, she pulled the Mexican food off the counter.
Did she really?
Yeah. I'm gonna go assess this real
All
quick.
right.
We'll be right back.
And we're back.
We're back.
So what happened right there?
Our dog June jumped up on the counter, like full on. Big O dog jumped up on the fucking counter, stood there, and started eating the Mexican food that I previously mentioned that I left on the counter.
Whose fault was that?
It could have been anybody.
Yeah.
The blame could go to anybody.
Anyway, so and then we started playing music together.
We
That's
did.
kind of how that happened. So what are like some of Autumn Ragland's early influences?
Taylor Swift,
Okay.
Jamie D.
Okay.
You know, old country singers, not old, like 90s, 2000s.
Give me the answer that you always gave to radio.
Oh gosh, Jody Messina, Leanne Rhymes.
Okay.
Who else do I usually say?
Sarah Evans?
No.
No?
Nah.
I feel like you always said something along the lines of like just whatever white noise was in the background
Yeah.
in my Leanne Rhymes was the one I was kind of fishing for though.
Like
Yeah.
Leanne Rhymes was a big one that I remember listening to, like searching out the music, and Jody Messina for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Those are my two, like I would search out the music to listen to.
Tell the story about your mom's car
My
and
mom-
the CD.
Yeah. So my mom had a car named Pedro, and it was 3 colors, and we had a Leanne Rhymes CD stuck in it. And my favorite song on it was Probably Wouldn't Be This Way. That was track 6. And so that's like one of my favorite songs of all time.
You think that if you never heard Leanne Rhymes, then you maybe wouldn't be like where you are today.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that song specifically, I'm very weird. Like, it's not so much like people that shaped my influences, but more just like specific songs, I think. So, yeah, that song, I think, sort of was one of the specifics that kind of shaped the way that I write.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's very sad.
Yeah, it is a very sad song.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, and then fast forward after that, and then we're doing Sam Cox Band. I call it Sam Cox Band 1.0, like before my band kind of went on a hiatus in 2015, 2016 or whatever. And then we got married, right?
Yeah,
That's about
we
how that
did.
happened, right?
We did. It was great. We had s'mores at our wedding.
We did.
It was awesome.
We threw that wedding together. In
I threw that wedding
You
together.
threw that wedding together in like 10 days.
You sat on your butt. Yeah,
I didn't want
did.
anything to do with that. Like, not the wedding, but
Thanks.
like, I don't mean it like that. I didn't want anything to do with the
Thanks.
planning stuff. And I would try to pick out stuff, and you'd be like, no, we got this.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
remember that. All I know is I was stressed the
You were like
fuck
you
out.
worried about the playlists and inviting people and making sure that you and your groomsmen have like all your stuff together. And I was like, cool, I will do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was crazy. Got married in old Pryor, Oklahoma.
Yeah. I would do it differently if I could do it now.
Yeah.
Not the wedding specifically,
I know
but
what you
just the people that were there, maybe in like the venue.
Right. But when you get married in Pryor, Oklahoma, like what is your options really?
There's not many, especially if you're trying to get your wedding together in a week.
Mm-hmm. On a low budget.
Yeah, we had a potluck. It was kind of awesome.
It was kind of cool. We're gonna renew it in 2025.
In our 10-year, we're gonna renew our vows, and I think we're gonna have like a little music festival.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
For our wedding. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Because not that we didn't have like a serious one, but we were just so young.
We were so young. We would do so much different.
Yeah.
Like, I get exactly. My wedding really was perfect. I loved it so much. But yeah, there is a lot of things that I wish that like, I don't know that I knew. Like,
right.
I work at a flower shop now. I create like freaking bouquets of flowers for people's weddings and like arrangements and all this crazy stuff. I had fake flowers at my wedding and they were so ugly. Like, I think the biggest thing I would change is that I wish that I had real flowers at my wedding.
Out of all that, just
yes. No, seriously.
Because that's still bugging everybody 10 years later. Oh my gosh.
It's bugging me.
Autumn's wedding, it's just them flowers. I just can't get over it.
It's bugging me now that I work at a flower shop.
So yeah, and then we got married, and then about less than a year later than that, it was my birthday. No, so that would have been 4 months later. It was my birthday. We were living in Choteau, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And we got, I got really drunk for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, hey, what if I just quit playing in my band for a while?
Yeah.
And I'd be your drummer. You remember that?
God, yeah, you were the drummer.
I was.
Wow.
I've actually played every instrument in Ragland.
You really have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've done all that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like, yeah, let me be the drummer. And then, what do you remember after that?
Oh my God. I remember basically that you switched to bass.
Yep, we got somebody else to drum.
Somebody else to play drums. Mm-hmm. We gigged a lot.
Yeah.
And
that's when we really started gigging as Ragland, I feel like, is whenever.
Yeah.
And then.
And we would set up like our own events, like in Pryor, like at the Legion.
At the Legion in Pryor.
Yeah.
We did an album release party at the Dream Theater here in Tahlequah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
I fucked that up bad.
I remember that. Everybody was like, oh. And then everybody was like giving you like sympathy claps like at the end of it.
I know. Oh, let's not.
And you were like,
let's move on. It's a bad memory.
Yeah, that was cool. So that lineup was cool. And Hunter Young was in that. Hunter Young was the guitarist for Sam Cox Band 1.0.
Yeah.
For like the longest time. So, and then what happened after that?
Oh my God, I don't even know.
You don't even know? I feel like I have this like timeline.
I don't. I'm not like that.
In my head.
I'm not like that. I'm not like you.
So we moved to Tahlequah the next year.
Yeah.
No, we were in Pryor for about a year
or
so. And then we were kind of, Ragland was like this weird, looking back on it, we always called it alternative indie, but looking back on it was really just Americana rock.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of weird. Our first record was very out there.
The first record was like, it was interesting.
Yeah. We did a lot of that ourselves. They had like 5 different producers on it. And
yeah, because we were just trying to scramble and get it done, which has kind of been our theme on our records. But it will not be this time.
Ever
again.
And, and then so we did that for a little while, and then we toured. We toured pretty heavily off that album. I remember we went to like all the way to Memphis and Louisville and a lot of different dates in Texas and up north, and we did all that stuff, and then we moved to Tahlequah after our band kind of broke up.
Yep.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you remember after that?
I remember living in a really shitty house. That house was awful, but it was just where we were kind of getting our footing at, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember not being able to find a job. Is this the same time we moved to Tahlequah? Am I following here?
I'm talking about the time
that
hold
on.
Right, when we were like in the middle of the Murphy's Law process. This is what I was talking about earlier whenever we had taken a break when we were the second time that we moved here and we were in the apartment.
Oh, the one where we were in the apartment?
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about the shitty house. I thought that's where
I kind of
we
like
were.
bypassed that little. That was like a little 3 month. That was kind of
That was
intertwined.
that was only 3 months. I felt like 20 years.
Yeah, I know. That was a really
God dang.
shitty place.
Okay, so we're talking about the second time we moved to Tahlequah. We moved into that apartment, that upstairs apartment.
Mm.
Yeah, and we decided to start doing Ragland full time then. I was working at a fucking snow cone shack
Yeah,
in a retail store.
yeah.
That was bullshit.
And then I was working another crappy job too, and we both just
we
sat
got
on
drunk
the balcony.
again. This is how we make all of our decisions about Ragland. We got drunk again, and then we sat on our balcony at our apartment, and we were like, I can't fucking do this shit anymore. And
Let's
we were
just
like,
do this full time.
yeah, let's just do this full time because I'd rather be playing 3 hours a night than be working a 10-hour shift at my stupid job. So we started doing it full time.
Yep. And then we kind of made goals, which is what we do every year. We made goals, and we write down, like, what do we want to get done in the next month? What do we want to get done in, like, 3 months or 6 months or 12 months? We're really good at, like, setting out timelines.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we did. And we wanted to be, like, self-sufficient, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the beginning of that next year, well, I guess in between this, like, 6 month period before us going full-time, and then at the beginning of the next year, we were, like, I don't know, we played a ton.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, that next year or so, I feel like is really whenever we started to really take things super, super serious.
Yeah,
like, we went
did.
from being
A gigging band to
a gigging full-time musician band to, like, what would you say that we went?
like an act,
Yeah.
you know?
We had a brand. We
Yeah.
had radio success. We had,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. 2019 was, like, a huge year for us. I
Yeah.
really feel like that was because we had
People started to actually take notice of us, I think.
yeah, I would
More
say
than
that.
we had ever had at one time before.
Mm-hmm. That whole year was a huge, like, grind year for us too. Like, we were on the road. I remember counting it up, and we made a Facebook post about it one time where we were sitting at Mike's, but it was like we were on the road for like 285 days that year.
That is insane.
Between like just gigging and doing from the studio and radio tour, or just driving to somewhere because it takes a whole day to drive to Laredo.
Yeah.
You know
oh
what I
my
mean?
gosh.
And, or driving home from like a long weekend or whatever. But yeah, we were on the road for 285 days a year.
That's
It was
crazy.
kind of crazy. Yeah.
I probably, like, I didn't even probably notice at the time. That's just what I did.
Yeah.
We just not exist at home.
It was nuts. And at this, we're talking about the year that we had to put out Murphy's Law. Like, Murphy's Law came out in the fall of 2018 when we were kind of starting to do things full time.
Yeah.
And we toured on Murphy's Law for the whole entire 2019. We played, like, so much.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was a really good year. I'd say, like, as far as success and stuff, we had Footsteps and Love Liquor and A Place to Die
Yep. Those are
Both
some geese songs.
charted top 40 for us that year, and we just toured like crazy and kind of made it happen. And
Yep.
yeah, so I got some Ragland trivia for you.
Okay, I'm always really bad at this, but let's
You ready to
do
do
it. Yeah.
So Autumn has no timeline or no memory of numbers or anything like that.
Okay, I have no concept of literally anything.
Anything.
I am a day-to-day
But
person.
she can remember exactly what she wore
Yeah.
on
I
a
can.
certain day for anything.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I'll be like,
I love
remember that one
clothes.
show in Lubbock that we played? I'll be like, what were you wearing? And she can tell me, like,
Ooh, are you talking about that
exactly.
show we played in Lubbock? Because I know exactly what I wore.
Are you, I'm just like throwing out something. Are you serious?
Yeah, I
What
wore
were you-
I wore my Jimi Hendrix t-shirt, and I had this skirt that was actually like a skirt, and it had like black buttons on it, and it was striped. And then I wore my Doc Martens, and I clipped like the side of my hair back. That's what I wore.
That's crazy.
I don't know
That's
why I can
actually
do
crazy.
that.
I we've played in Lubbock probably a dozen times, but I'm just saying, like, that. I don't even know what time you're talking about, but that's crazy that you even remember any of that.
Yeah, the time that we played and like people came. I think it was like the last time we played in Lubbock.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember what I
The
wore.
time that people came.
Yeah, I remember what I wear to everything, but I am such a day-to-day person. Like, I don't remember dates. I don't even remember what I had for lunch yesterday. I don't care about those things. I just dump that shit out of my brain. I'm too busy thinking about master songs
And what you wore in
and
2015.
what I fucking wore, because I'm gotta look good, you know.
All right, so here's some Raglan trivia for you. So we were talking about singles and stuff. How many top 40 songs has Raglan had?
3.
It's an easy question, starting with the easy ones.
3.
Name them all.
Love Lurking a Place to Die, Footsteps, Trailer Like You.
Bingo. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, cool. Love Liquor and a Place to Die is our highest stream song to date. Mm-hmm. We were talking about this the other day.
I know a lot of this because we've gone over it recently. But
Somewhat
if you would have asked me
the question's
like a
about
month
to
ago,
get
I
harder.
wouldn't have
Hold on.
known. Oh, okay.
Question's about to get harder.
Did you come up with more questions?
I did.
Damn it.
How many streams does Love Liquor and a Place to Die have on Spotify?
Roughly like 90,000, right?
Yeah, like 94,000 or something like that.
And we're getting up there.
We're getting up there. Raglan had a wrapped thing that they do at Spotify at the end of every year. How many streams did Raglan get in the year of 2020?
I don't know. I don't even have a number to guess.
Just guess a number.
Yeah. Like 1 million, maybe?
Hey, that's pretty ambitious, but
That's what I'm saying. I was trying to...
I have 259,000.
That's it?
Which is about $250,000. You said that's it.
We suck. We suck.
That was the year that everybody was streaming music like crazy because they were in quarantine, and
Yeah.
we paid some bills with streaming that
We
year.
did.
It was pretty good. Love Liquor and a Place to Die was our only song to date as of right now that charted on iTunes.
Oh, yeah.
iTunes Country. What did it chart at?
20?
74.
Ooh. 74. That's pretty good.
And you said 20? Okay. Yeah, that's about all the questions that I got. I'm just kind of
Damn.
curious on what you thought. You actually did pretty good on those.
I know.
Except for
'cause
like the overshooting, which I appreciate.
Yeah. I don't really know. I don't know.
So going back to the Raglan stuff, 2019 was like a really good year for us, and I really feel like at the end of 2019, we really started to see a turnaround. I feel like we started to play shows, and people were singing songs back to us,
Yeah.
like in places that weren't our hometown.
Mm-hmm.
What are some memories that you have of that? Like, where's the first place that you remember somebody singing anything back to you?
Man, I don't know. I don't remember what order these shows were in, you know?
What's one that just comes to mind where you're just like,
Obviously,
oh my gosh.
the Lubbock one comes to mind. And, you know, I think that's the biggest one that comes to mind, really.
I think the one for me was the Golden Light whenever we had played in Amarillo.
Oh, Amarillo.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, I wasn't talking about Lubbock.
Oh,
Even
oh,
earlier when
sorry,
I was
Lubbock.
earlier when I was talking about my outfit, I was talking about Amarillo. as
Oh,
well.
were you?
Yeah, I get.
You
them
remember the
mixed
outfit,
up.
but you don't remember the town ever.
I get them mixed up. See, this is perfect example. I get those two mixed up though because they're like an hour apart.
It seemed like we were at a point where we were touring, and I remember kind of stopping after about 6 months and being like, we have not played a single show in a very long time where somebody was not out there
Singing the words.
singing words to stuff, or just didn't come out to like see us or whatever. And we were playing in Iowa and Minnesota and Nebraska and Colorado and all this other stuff, and like people were just showing up.
Yeah.
And it was kind of crazy there for a little bit, like, because it wasn't like we had a million people at every show, but the fact that there were people at pretty much at every single show.
Yeah, because I mean that's really kind of all that matters, you know.
Just
You
a small growing fan.
Yeah.
Like we were getting some traction, and it
Yeah.
was actually starting to.
As long as there's like a few people showing up, you know that there's gonna be a few more next time.
Yeah. That's kind of where, for about 6 months there, I feel like it was really good for us because I want to say it was like fall of 19 and then spring of 2020, and then kind of COVID hit and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and then Raglan played as much as we could around COVID, and then
Yeah.
we kind of took a break, right?
We did. We took a break.
Explain your version of all that. I know that a lot goes into it, and this might be kind of a big segment of the podcast that a lot of people probably want to hear.
Yeah.
But, what is it? What is it right now? Hold on. Okay, it's technically still July 1st. Tomorrow, as of tomorrow, was Raglan's last show a year ago. Full band. We haven't played in a year.
That one that was at that fair.
The one that was at Kroner downtown. Or last full band show, I guess I should say.
Oh.
If you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that was, wow.
yeah, that was July 2nd of 2020.
It's only been a year since then?
Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's kind of crazy.
God, that makes me sad.
But anyway, so let's talk about the hiatus that we've been calling it. I guess I don't know if we coined that term or if somebody else started that or whatever. But
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I just got tired. I got tired
Of
the music scene where you were in, and people telling me what to do all the time, having no creative control. I got tired of being away from home. I got tired of the live show. I didn't like our live show. You know, I got tired of having no control over anything.
And tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm counting 1, 2, 3. Okay, so obviously 4 other things. First one being COVID. Kind of.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, we weren't really like.
We stopped playing anyway.
Right. Which arguably in the last year we could have not even made a statement. We could have just.
Yeah, but I thought it was permanent. I really felt so done.
I thought it was permanent too.
I felt so done.
A few months ago, I really thought it was permanent. Between that, we split ways with some of our radio management, for the lack of a term that some people might not understand, I don't want to call anybody out either, but we split ways with our radio management.
Yeah.
We also split ways with a lead player that was playing in our band at that time.
Yeah.
And we were really good friends with both of those people, and it happened like a week apart.
Yeah, I was devastated.
And I was too, and I still am.
Yeah, that's
kind of.
Yeah, usually like back then, if I was going through it, because I was going through it very often at that point, like I was having like a mental breakdown a night kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you would be like giving me a pep talk, but when I came to you and I was like, I'm done, I can't do it anymore, you believed me because you felt the same way.
Yeah.
You believed like we need to just step back.
Yeah.
And that was like huge for me to know, like that was the right thing to do right then. It's because you agreed. Because you're not like that. You're not like, you just like, now let's just keep pushing. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. But you even were like, this is too devastating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, all that. And it's still kind of stinks. You know, it still burns to.
It burns.
You know, think about.
Often. You
know, relationships. Because really what it came down to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we did this for so long, and we're going to do it for so much more longer and whatever. Yeah. And we just can't compromise our morals, I guess probably is really what it comes down to.
Morals and beliefs.
Exactly. Yeah.
And our comfort.
Yeah, comfort, morals, beliefs.
For me, like a big thing is like if I'm outside of my belief system, I'm uncomfortable. Mm. I was so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable.
And all that, and then we got a kiddo. Kiddo came along.
Yeah. And a lot of people think and just assume, and we've kind of just said, yeah, we took a break a little because of our kid, but we didn't, but I'm glad we did because we probably would have needed to anyway.
Right.
Because she needed that one-on-one attention more than we would have been able to give her if we would have kept.
I don't think that we would have been able to connect to her the way that we did if we were on the road like we were.
Yeah. You
know, and because, I don't know, for anybody that doesn't know, Autumn and I are, if you want to be technical, we're foster parents right now. We're in the middle of an adoption.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just, I don't know, there was no way in hell that we would have even thought about trying to get a kiddo if we were on the road full time.
Yeah.
So, you know, COVID happened and we decided to.
We basically had somebody just offer us a kid, like out of nowhere.
Pretty much,
because they knew that me and Sam had struggled in the past with having children, and we really wanted kids, and they literally just offered us a kid, and we were kind of like, yeah, let's do it.
At first I was like,
Sam was
really?
Very hesitant. Sam,
like,
you told me basically you were like, no, and I was like, come on, let's just meet her. And I think you met her, and as soon as you saw her.
The moment that I saw Allie, I was literally like, done for.
Yeah.
We had her for 5 days for the first time.
To do like a trial run.
To do a trial run. She went home for literally 24 hours, and I felt like I was going to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And the second time we got her, on the 7th day that we knew her.
Yeah, she never left.
She never left. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and with all that going on, it felt best to take a break for Ragland, just to kind of be at an end, which we thought was permanent.
Yeah. I really, truly, 100%.
I did
thought
too.
It was permanent.
And I started up my band, and we did a whole album cycle. I hadn't fronted a band in like 5 years, and I kind of got my guys back together. And did our thing.
Yeah.
Put out a couple singles to radio. Did decent. And then about 3 months ago, maybe, almost, I think I had a really bad weekend on the road.
Yeah, and I had a really bad weekend as well.
And we just were kind of
We got drunk again.
Yeah, we got drunk again.
Third
we were
time.
like, what are we doing?
Third time around. And I think we both had been sitting on it for a while that we wanted to start back up Ragland again, but neither one of us wanted to say it. And we both were just kind of like, what do you think? Like, what do you think? What do you think? And it was like, okay, let's just do it.
And I think that I had just a bad enough of a weekend to be like, okay, let's entertain the thought of getting this thing back together. And then I think that I had talked to a handful of radio folks, and I was like, what do you think about this? And I don't know why I put my trust in them, but there's just some people that you meet in the radio business where you're that are just such believers of what you're doing.
Because they hear so much stuff. They hear so much music, and for them to be such big supporters of you specifically says a lot.
Right.
Like, you talk to these people like almost on a weekly basis, and they could be talking to any artist. They could be supporting any artist that they like, but like they're talking to you and they're supporting you, and like that means a lot when they have that many artists come through.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few of them that I had kind of called, and I was like, what do you think about this? Because I feel like they would have been honest, and I had a really bad paranoia, I guess is the word, for wondering like if we had kind of broke the trust of radio, because we had kind of stopped promoting. We did
people
3
look at
singles.
it as, they're like not even gonna stick around. Why would I play any more of their stuff?
Right. So I was kind of weird about it for a little bit, but then we just decided to get back on it, and I shit you not, in the last 3 months since we kind of announced everything, between photo shoots, artwork, demoing, help me out, rehearsals, buying things.
Just like buying new stuff. Rehearsals has been a big one.
Booking, radio.
Booking new tours.
We've been on a radio tour already.
Yeah, we've already been doing radio tours, driving all the way to freaking Amarillo, Lubbock, or whatever.
Whatever, West Texas.
Whichever one is the farthest. I don't even know. Just writing. I mean, just trying to figure out a schedule with a kid doing this full time.
That's been the biggest one, because we've kind of
we're steady with her now, so it's easier to be away from her.
And we've got such a good support system too.
Yeah, but it's definitely, and it's hard because I'm like a weenie baby now about her, and now like I get to the point where I'm like I just like want to cry if I'm not with her.
That was part of the reason why I kind of wanted to get off the road too, like so much with just me, solo, because it was just rough sometimes. I'd be out in Nebraska, and you and her would just be here, and I was just like,
and I'd be sending you pictures of us like swimming, and you'd be like playing a show for nobody.
So and I was just like, in the back of my mind, I just wanted to kind of get the rock and roll out, I think, for a little bit, because as far as Ragland goes, we're a little more alternative, Americana, not as much distortion or whatever. But after I got that out, I was just like, man, not only would I get to be in a wife with my band again, in a band with my wife again,
same thing,
and get to see my kiddo more and be home more and that kind of stuff, but get to kind of jump ahead again in my career, because as far as like where Sam Cox Band is and where Ragland is
had a steady
light years ahead. I feel like, you
had
know,
a steady pace kind of already going, and a kind of a good steady fan base.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like since we've even gotten back together, like recently, it's grown exponentially.
Yeah, the big resurgence of everything has been
maybe
like,
because we know a little bit more of what we're doing now, so it's
right.
a little bit easier to gain traction. But
Yeah, but the fact that we know a little bit more of what we're doing adds more work to us, because we're like, we can't
Yes.
shortcut that.
Oh my
And I'm not gonna
gosh.
like point out specific stuff, but
No.
like we can't shortcut that now, so we're gonna have to
I'm exhausted.
like do this the right way and the best way that we can.
Yeah, I don't stop moving. Like this morning we went to a radio interview, and then I went to work, and then I went and did a 2.5-hour studio session, and then I came home and we put together the bunk bed, and we ate dinner for a little bit, and then we are doing this podcast. And yesterday we had band rehearsal, and I filled out postcards to send to radio, and did one-liners to send to radio, and finished artwork, and we ordered t-shirts, and
Assembled a bed.
assembled
Two
our bed.
beds.
We bought 2 new beds because everybody was uncomfortable as fuck.
Yeah. So
So we
it's been
leveled
crazy.
up.
Since the last 90 days that we decided that we're going to do this again, I think that we haven't went to bed before like 11 or midnight every
No.
night. Which, and I know that doesn't sound like maybe too late, but me and Autumn for a while there just went to bed at like 8 or 9 because we were just, you know,
Yeah, we would go to bed at 8 or 9 and just wake up
taking
in the
time off,
morning.
you know. And for the last year,
Yeah.
Autumn's been working at a flower shop because, little does everybody know, she has a degree that she paid $18,000 for in design, and she got a job as a floral designer.
I have a Sam can never say this correctly. I have a technical degree in fashion design, and it heavily focused like on graphic design and just like just elements of design more so than like the fashion aspect. I mean, there was a lot of like pattern making and sewing basically, but I mean a lot of it really helped me with like I do floral arrangements now.
Yeah. She's really good at graphic design though. Go look at Murphy's Law. That record.
I look at that now and it's so shitty.
Well, but I still think it looks cool.
I
But
know.
you like designed all that.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Our
So-
new artwork will be 1,000 times better though.
Right. So yeah, that's where the whole entire thing of Ragland kind of started, stopped, and now we're kind of back here.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool to kind of see how far we came from even like 2016 to now, because
it is
like
crazy.
I was telling somebody about this the other day. One of the things about the pressure that kind of came along with coming back into it was the fact that, you know, whenever we had started all this 5 years ago, and or even took a break and then got back together 3 years ago after we moved or whatever, we played what we wanted. We played when we wanted, where we wanted, played the songs that we wanted. Now, coming into it, we have to be super careful with what markets we play in.
Yeah.
And how close the next market is to that. And set lists. I mean, we have
Set list, I have to play a bunch of songs I don't really necessarily want to play, but it's like songs that people like. And I'm kind of like over them, because for me it was just like, let me just put this in a song and outpour that emotion, and I'll play it sometimes at shows. But for everybody else, it's like, man, I love that shit. So I have to play the songs I don't really want
there's
to
songs
play
on
anymore.
records from
Yeah.
years ago that are still like highly streamed.
So it's like, well, better
Yeah.
play it.
And then, you know, we have like the radio hits that were all the top 40 ones, and our new one that we just put out. And
Yeah. Which I really do, honestly, though. I do like playing on like full band. Acoustic
full
stuff.
band's a lot different now than
Yeah.
it used to be. too.
Acoustic, I kind of like struggle through a little bit, but with that full band vibe, I dig those songs.
Yep.
They do sound good, full band.
Yeah. It's different now though, because it's like back then if we didn't want to play a song we didn't have to, but now if we were going to play somewhere in a market that we know that people are going to come out and buy tickets or whatever, and we don't play Love Liquor in a place.
Yeah, they're
that
gonna be like,
they're gonna be like, why
"What?
did they not play
Why
that
did
song?
why did I even pay for this show? That's the
Yeah.
only song I want to hear.
Or, you know, Footsteps or Trailer Like You or On Fire or whatever. And, you know, we've got music videos, too, of other songs, too. So I guess all I'm trying to say is, like, coming back into all this is we've got, like, 35, 40 minutes of our set list that is, like, unchangeable.
Yeah. I
Like,
agree.
when you think about it.
Yeah.
And back then, it was like we could do whatever we wanted. So, in a way, I kind of miss the unsuccessfulness
I
that
don't.
we had.
I don't. I like the structured sets.
I do too.
I've always
but
been a little bit more comfortable with them than you, I think. I like to know exactly what everybody's doing, and I like to just have a structured set. I know what's coming next, and it's just like it flows so much better.
What are some of your favorite songs that we play?
Right now, White Man's World.
Oh, Jason Isbell cover.
Yeah, Go Back to Bed, San Antonio.
New one that's
New
not
one.
out at this moment.
Yes.
We played that live. You
have
played-
I? Yes,
you've
I
played
have.
it
I played
live.
it like at acoustic stuff.
Yeah, I've never played it live.
Let's see. There was one I was gonna say, and it just slipped my mind. Oh, I like Footsteps now that I play the lead on it. That
Yeah.
sounds really cool.
Autumn picked up electric guitar recently.
Yeah, I'm trying to play more lead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be better, y'all. Those
What are some of the older ones that we have off of the last 4 records
that
that
I like
we've-
to play.
that you like to play? What are some of them that come to mind? Like when you see them on the set list, you're like, oh, I really like that song.
I don't know. Can I look at our set list
Yeah.
real quick? Let me pull it. Oh,
You just
I
dropped
just
your
chunked my
phone.
phone on the ground.
You just got that phone. You
I
just
know.
thrown it
'cause
across
I dropped
the room.
my other one in the lake. Hold on. Give me like 2 seconds here. I'm gonna go to our Facebook group chat. With
Pull
all
up
of-
the set list.
Yes. Okay, hold on. There it is. Okay. There's hair on my screen. I like my new ones. Guardian, Remember Me, that I play acoustic. I do like Playing on Fire. I like Gray.
Gray's Great Can
We
Get.
play that on keys now. It sounds
Mhm.
magical.
That was the first single that Ragland ever put out.
Yeah, ever.
Walk me through what you think about when you think of like our old albums. So just so you know, which is the name of the album. I'm not like going into like some phrase. Just so you know, it came out in 2016, early 2016.
Mm-hmm.
What comes to mind when you think of that?
That album, having really bad period cramps. If I'm being totally honest.
Really?
Yes, like I would go to the studio in Tulsa.
Yeah. Oh, and
And-
Jinx when we went to.
Yes, and record with
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Mhm.
And I was just having the most god awful fucking period cramps at that time in my life, and I would just be like sweating, like I'd be in like a cold sweat trying to record songs, but also just like just navigating. I was writing stupid shit basically about like boring teenage drama. I mean, Gray was pretty in depth.
Gray is
there's
the
a few
only
in
single
depth.
that you can still find online
Mhm.
that we actually keep on
Yeah.
stream, and we actually play like at live shows
Yeah.
and stuff too.
Yeah,
There's
like
a
I
music
wrote-
video out to it. You can check it out.
Yeah.
People.
Oh my god. But yeah, I wrote like a song called like Two Faced.
Yeah, Two Face is good.
Yeah.
You're missing the big hit off of that. That was bigger than Gray. We just didn't play anymore.
Stay Awake.
Stay Awake.
That's a banger.
We need to recut that.
We really do. That's a good song.
We absolutely need to recut that.
Yeah, that was one of those songs that like I went and sat in my bedroom and like wrote front to back immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
It just
always been
flowed.
a really good song.
Yeah.
Just because it was from the heart, you know?
So the year after that, we released an album called Wimberley.
Yeah.
When you think of that, what do you think?
I think about Wimberley, Texas.
Wimberley, Texas.
It's by Austin, y'all.
Yeah.
I think about, just writing that record. I think it was so different. We just got together and pretty much just like threw instrumentals into the air and had me write lyrics to them.
I enjoyed writing for that record.
Yeah.
I really did.
It really was a good time.
Our whole band lived together.
Yeah, in a house.
Hmm.
And we would all get together and we would write. And
Every night.
yeah. And I do miss that, but I it wasn't me. So.
Right. It wasn't like
Yeah.
that
It wasn't-
Americana rock
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily you.
I remember still being very awkward and like very insecure and like standing up for myself. Like if things weren't going my way, like I would push a little bit, but I wouldn't push enough to the point where things would go my way.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just like, I'm literally not even going to argue with you. This is what's happening. But Wimberley was still very much so a time for me when I would just be like, if everybody else thinks it sounds good, then I guess that's fine. But now I'm like, I don't even care about the music if I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think about.
On Wimberley, a lot of people don't know, but we repackaged it. It
Yeah.
was a 12-track album, but whenever we kind of went more of the red dirt side of the Americana stuff instead of the rock side of stuff.
We don't want people to be confused.
We don't want people to be confused, so we repackaged it as an EP.
Yeah.
Can you name 5 songs off of that EP?
Like the repackaged?
Mm-hmm. There's 5 songs left on it that out of the 12 that we ended up.
Did we do Up to the Light?
Yeah, Out of Time, same song. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it had 2 titles. Out of Time. Wow.
Looking back, I'm looking at it right now on Spotify.
Thinking About Me's on
Thinking
there.
About Me's on the record.
Which is strange. It's very out of its element
Yeah.
in that.
It was way ahead of its time, I feel like, as far as like Ragland goes. Nothing's wrong.
Wow, yeah, nothing's wrong. What about that Drowned song?
That's not on there.
Damn, we didn't put that on the repackage.
God forbid.
God forbid. Wow.
And
We really did just grab the indie shit off there.
then the one song that's been blowing up on TikTok for no reason.
Is It Over?
Yeah. That's one of those songs where it's like, we released that in 2017, and then
Yeah.
Like-
I wrote that song at the studio.
4 years later, it just blows up on some random app.
Yeah.
And then so it's like, I guess we need to reincorporate this into our set list, like if people come out to shows.
I
And
guess I should do that. We should
Yeah.
do that.
that is right now
Remember that.
our number 1 streamed song on Apple in
Yeah.
the last like 28 days.
And I haven't played it in years, so that makes no
It's
sense.
so weird. Yeah, it's crazy. So after that, we had Murphy's Law. When I think of Murphy's Law, I think of, like I said, that whole entire year where we were just gigging our freaking ass off. Like
Yeah.
literally driving to everywhere that
Yeah.
you can think of. We were playing 4 or 5 nights a week as
Yeah.
an acoustic duo before we ever even got a full band.
Yeah, I was just talking to my boss today at work about that because Cody Johnson had posted that he had to be on vocal rest for a few weeks, and I was like, yeah, that sucks. I think she thought like maybe it was like, why does he have to be on vocal rest? But I was like, no, I've had to do that before too. Like, I used to play 3-hour gigs 3 or 4 times a week, and my voice would be god awful. Like, I had to go to the doctor and get it checked out and get a freaking scope down my throat to check it out. Like, that shit's serious.
Yeah.
That's how hard we were gigging. Is my voice was like going out, my hearing was going away. Like, I was
It was
losing my
crazy.
senses, y'all.
And we did not have money. We were just surviving.
Yeah.
And paying for record promotion and radio tour and,
And
stuff.
record and singles and
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And we did not have any money for new music equipment or in-ears or
no.
anything.
I bought in-ears this week,
Yeah.
and they weren't even like super expensive. I've needed in-ears for a very long
For a
time.
very long time. Yeah.
But they are so freaking expensive.
Can you name all 5 songs on Murphy's Law?
Yes, but give me a second.
Okay.
Footsteps,
Obviously.
Cowboy Boots,
Yeah.
Like I Do,
Mm-hmm.
Love, Liquor, and a Place to Die. Don't say anything. I'm gonna guess it. Why Me?
Why Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why Me is a freaking banger.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
I
good.
do not know why. Maybe it's just because we play so many slow songs.
Yeah,
that it's not
we
on
play
the set
so many
list.
slow songs that I cannot fit that one on set ever. I
But
can't.
it's a banger.
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually really like Cowboy Boots. I think it's like in our top 10 songs streamed. Like
It's probably
ever.
one of my most generically written songs.
But you wrote that song like when you were like 12 or
Yeah, I
something
was like
that.
12 or 13. I wrote about my brother's friends being douchebags. That's literally it. People are like, oh my God, that song connects to me so well. It's so deep. And I appreciate that. And I love that. And I think that that's awesome that people are connecting to it in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
But legit, I wrote that because my brother's friends were being douchebags.
So let's fast forward
Okay.
to our latest record, More Like a Melody.
Yep. Name all the songs on that one. Go.
I
No,
could
let's
probably
see.
do it if I sat
No,
down.
stop. Don't do it.
So talk about this record for a second. More Like a Melody.
Yeah.
What do you think of, and what is the concept behind this? And I also want to point out that I think that this was probably the most joyful time of my music career up to date was
Yeah.
making this record. I think
I was
around
really,
the time.
I mean, I don't know how real you want to get here, so you're just gonna have to tell me.
Like, I think that the process was very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Like, doing that. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, I guess. I think it was for you. I think we see that record very differently.
talk about it.
I mean, I don't know how like much you're wanting to talk.
This is a podcast.
I know, but you always get kind of mad at me. I don't know. I was really depressed during that whole record. Like, very depressed. I'd gone through a bunch of shit that's in the songs. And, like, our first day at the studio, I was still miscarrying.
You were still going through the process of just
Yeah.
the post.
Yeah, like it was still physically happening the first day that we went to the studio. And then you like asked me, you're like, you don't have to go. And I was like, no, I really want to go. I don't want to think about this right now. And then we went, and it was kind of awful. It was
On the first day.
On the first day. And no, I mean, it got better, obviously. But yeah, I mean, and I continued to write about things that were like really, really dark, and I wasn't happy with the music career, even though I know that we were having success, but there were still things in my personal life that just weren't that great for me. And just, you know, as a person, I needed to grow a lot. And there was a lot of songs that were therapeutic, yeah, and that were happy and upbeat, and lots of good experiences came from those songs. But yeah, I mean, I think we saw it very differently.
Well, I feel like a jerk now saying that it was like a happy time.
No,
I think
but that doesn't make you a jerk.
The whole
We just saw it
process was
differently.
just very. I felt better after we got it all done.
Yeah.
Because it felt like we said a lot.
Yeah.
That we needed to say in
I
that
agree.
whole thing. And yeah, talk about working with Mike.
Working with Mike was really good. He didn't know my name at first, but I think after that initial, like, hey, like, bro, what's my name? And he guessed it wrong. I think he realized maybe he should, like, not be like that. But it's okay, because I'm the same way, so no judgment there. But, you know, it was really good. He's really nice. I think
He's one of the most genuine people I know.
That's what I was going to say. He's very genuine. He's not going to, like, just bullshit you. I've worked with producers. I hate those producers, and I work with them all the time, that I sing, and they're like, oh, yeah, so beautiful, so great, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, they hype me up.
And Mike will be like, go do that shit again.
Yeah, he'll be like, I didn't like it. And I'll be like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? You don't like it. That was talent. But no, it was good to just kind of work with somebody that wasn't just trying to hype me up to get money out of me, you know, so that I'd keep booking dates with him. It was more just like, let's kind of just try to get this record done and, like, do a good job. Like, what else is there a point to doing this? That was kind of, like, I think his perspective.
What are some of your favorite songs to play off of More Like a Melody? There are 20 songs. So give me, like, 3 or 4 that stand out.
Throw My Life Away.
Okay.
I like that one. Give me some season, like, give me some of them. Read some off.
You just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Oh, okay.
You have to say thumbs up or thumbs down.
Okay.
I do it for you.
Can I be a middle thumb?
Yeah, that's cool.
Sideways thumb.
Okay. Actually,
Okay.
don't give me any thumbs down, because, like, if I say a song and then you give me, like, a thumbs down, people are gonna be like, they're not gonna play that song anymore.
No, I can
You know
still
what I mean?
tell him.
So, Tread Like You.
Middle thumb.
Middle. Call My Bluff.
Down thumb.
Really?
I know, everybody loves that song. I know, everybody loves that song.
Just because I wrote it.
It's not because you wrote it, but it is. It's not because you wrote it. It's because I didn't write it, and I don't connect with it on the same level.
That makes sense. I didn't even connect with it, like, on that level, too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I did, but I didn't. I kind of wrote it.
Yeah.
I pulled Autumn Ragland and wrote from somebody else's perspective. Okay. Zooted.
Thumbs up.
Okay. Throw My Life Away.
Thumbs up.
You're Everything.
Thumbs up.
Talk about You're Everything for a second.
You Were Everything. I think I ripped that off from Every Girl by Turnpike. So, there's that.
Do you remember where
I'm just kidding. No.
you were?
I just think that they have similar vibes and concepts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't you think?
I never thought about that. No.
I hadn't either, but then I heard that song the other day and I was like, damn it, fuck.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah. They're big influences, so whatever, I don't care. That song I wrote in the back seat on the way home from Texas, driving back to Oklahoma.
What I have in my head about that song was whenever you had went through miscarriage.
Yeah.
In the fall of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
There was a month or two there where we were in kind of a dark place.
It was very dark, yeah.
We canceled 6 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
on the
because
road.
I couldn't play.
Mm-hmm. And we literally did not want to cancel on radio because we just won't cancel on radio.
Yeah.
And then we went and did a radio interview in Denton, Texas. It was a live broadcast downtown. We did it with Darren Morris and Real Texas Radio.
Yeah.
And it felt good to get back in the groove.
Yeah.
And shout out to Michael White and Drew, them guys down there. And on the way back, you wrote that song, and it made me really happy. And I remember thinking, like, cool. We're back in this. Because we were in such a depressive state that it just felt comfortable. It felt uncomfortable just to
get out of it.
Get out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like really deep. But
No, I wrote that song because through all that we got so much closer. And so I just felt like, I don't know, it was literally just like, I remember I was sitting in the front seat and you had your hand on my knee. And then I thought of the, you speed through Texas, take it slow through Oklahoma, keep your hand on my knee.
Can't believe I know you.
Can't believe I know you. Like, that was literally just, like, that was just exactly what I was thinking. And I was like, bingo.
My thoughts rhyme.
Honestly, that happens more than you think. It's like a real weird twitch I have. Like, it's like a
something just
tweak.
randomly aligns and you're like, oh, where's my guitar?
No. I just mean like songwriting. Like I'm constantly in my head writing songs. It's like a weird, like little, like if you see something like twitching, like that's my brain, like writing songs like all the time.
It's super weird.
Yeah, isn't it fun? But no, so I wrote that in the back seat. As soon as I heard that line, and then I think it took me like maybe 20 minutes, and then I had it.
Yeah, I remember listening to it, and we were around Ardmore whenever you played it to me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't remember where we were.
Well, because we were in Denton, and then Denton's only 30 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
And when you cross into Thackerville, Oklahoma on I-35, you literally have to slow down or you would have pulled over.
Yeah, that's where I got
It's cool.
the line, was that you would speed through Texas, and as soon as we got to Oklahoma, you would slow down.
Yeah, because it goes from like 75 to 65.
Yeah. And it's also so relatable because everybody else has to do that too. So.
Yeah, anyways, we talked for like 10 minutes on
Ow,
this
I
song.
just hit my face on the microphone.
You
Did you
okay?
hear it? Did you hear it?
No, I heard that in my headphones.
Yeah, whoops.
Let's go through some other ones on here.
Okay.
On Fire.
Oh, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Forgot what we were doing for a
Love
second.
Leaving.
Thumbs up.
I like that song.
It's a good vibe.
It's kind of a sad song, but that is the most bittersweet song I think I've ever written.
Yes, that's bittersweet is the word for that song.
Cold Wave makes me sad. I won't talk about it.
Yeah.
But we can talk about how it was written.
Cold Wave was written because we were about an hour from home and we got a motherfucking flat on the side of the road.
About around Fort Smith, Arkansas.
And it was cold as a nutsack outside.
We had played a shitty ass show in
Yeah.
Memphis.
It was one of those really depressing days where you play a really shit show and nobody gives a crap about you and you're driving home and then your fucking car breaks down and it's freezing cold outside. And so Sam was outside of the car trying to change the tire. I was holding my phone out as a flashlight above him in the car.
12 degrees.
12 degrees. And semis kept passing us. And when they would pass us, it would be this big, huge gust of cold wind. And we called it a cold wave. And it was literally like Sam would like tense up every time it happened because like he was so cold. He was so cold. Trying to change our tire on the side of the road at probably like 3 a.m. Like it, and we just wrote that whole song about just struggling just to like continue to play music and get out there and grind, but like the fact that we would rather be doing that than not doing it at all. Mm-hmm. That's all that song is about.
Yeah, it's hopefully road musicians can relate to that. It's yeah, it's one of my favorite songs. We don't play it much anymore because, and not that we won't ever again, but it just had fiddle in it.
Yeah,
and so we used to open shows with that song. It used to be a fucking jam. I used to like when the second chorus kicks in.
Yeah,
that was my jam. I love that.
I know.
West of Idalou. What do you think about that song?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down?
Yeah, it's just one of those songs that call my bluff. It's not the fact that you wrote it, it's the fact that I don't connect to it.
Okay.
It's just hard. It
just
doesn't.
the only 2 thumbs downs are the songs that I've written.
Hey,
just kidding.
listen now.
There's a few other ones, but we won't get crazy into them. I think we're going to go on with this podcast.
Oh, okay. We can.
So let's talk about some of the new stuff that we got coming up.
'Kay.
Name some song names that are going to be on the new record coming out in 2022.
I don't know. I mean, I know Go Back to Bed, San Antonio. Remember Me will probably be on there. Guardian could possibly be on there.
Sugar on the Shelves will be on there, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure about anything yet. Really, I'm not.
I think that Emily song would be really cool.
Do you think?
I think that's...
Did you like it?
Yeah. So Autumn, just a quick plug. If you want to go follow Autumn on TikTok, it's technically the band's TikTok, but Autumn...
Yeah.
It's at the band Ragland.
Or no, I think it's at Ragland Music. Did I change it?
Maybe.
Let me go check.
All of our other social media is at the band Ragland.
Ragland Music is my TikTok.
Okay. Well, go search both up. We don't know what it might be.
Yeah.
We might change it. But anyway, so what are you doing on TikTok right now?
I'm doing a 90-day challenge where I write a song a day. So it may not be like a whole verse, chorus, bridge, fucking chorus.
But if some of them get
Outro.
stuck in your head, then you might kind of go on with them, or
Yes. So my goal pretty much with this is to see what people respond to and to just have these ideas written down because I get so bad about cluttering up songs.
you have like 500 in your phone.
Yes. I have 527 notes in my phone right now, and they're pretty much all song lyrics. And some of those I will probably never pass by again. But if I write down that like song a day and record it and post it online, then I'm going to have those ideas. Let's say in 90 days from now, we have 90 song ideas. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be able to go through all of those and make probably at least 20 records.
Yeah.
So
it's like 500 albums.
it's like 500 albums. But you get what I mean. So, but I'm also doing it to just like, I just like writing songs. And I think that's just what I do anyway. That's just literally my beingness is writing songs. I just thought it'd be cool to start just kind of documenting it a little bit more.
Cool. Yeah. And we're up to present day again. And so what we're doing right now is just we're kind of getting back out there, playing shows. Mm-hmm. We have 2 this month, 3 next month, 4 the month after. And we're kind of slowly inclining.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the point in the next 6 to 12 months ish, give or take, where we're going to be on the road again all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's just for us, it's going to be like, how do we navigate with the kid and with my new job, because I'm passionate about what I'm doing right now, but also music is my main. So
yeah,
it's going to be kind of like, how do we navigate that? But
right.
obviously, yeah, the answer is like, we'll be touring.
There will become a time where we're going to be out there again. Mm-hmm. So just the rate that we're at right now is probably not the rate we're going to be at for like a long time. Mm-hmm. All right, a few more things.
Okay.
So let's talk about some funny road stories.
Oh gosh. Okay, I have.
Because we always got asked about these in radio interviews or any kind of press, and we were always like, man, we can't think of any off the top of our head. And we were like, we swear to God, we're like fun people to be around. Yeah,
but we could never think of anything.
So Autumn started making notes about a year or 2 ago in her phone.
This note, last time I edited it, was February 7th, 2020 at 10:42 p.m. is what it says.
February 7th, 2020?
Mm-hmm. But that's the last time I edited it, so it could have been made like sooner than that.
Yeah.
Or like sooner? Sooner? Is that the word? I'm tired. Okay. So here's the first story. Yeah. Okay. So Sam does this thing when like, you know, the deer are out or whatever, making babies and shit and crossing roads. Where he will drive in the left lane. For no other reason. I'd be like, babe, please get in the right lane. And he would be like, no, if I drive in the right lane, I'm going to hit a deer.
Like
because
you're
it's closer
to the ditch.
To the ditch.
Right.
So this makes no fucking sense. Anybody that has logic knows that's not logical. A deer could be in the left lane, you dumbass. And so we fought about this for probably like a month, maybe even longer, with all these deer, you know, going around, and we were on the road a lot. And so I'm pretty sure we were like arguing about it at that time, and then like a few minutes later, we almost hit a deer in the left lane. And I was so satisfied. So satisfied.
I was
like,
never
see, you dipshit.
happier to be wrong in my life. We were literally driving back from Antlers, Oklahoma.
Ah, yeah.
Like the deer capital of the world.
Oh,
in
is that
the
the deer
fall.
capital of the world?
At least of Oklahoma.
That's a long jump.
Maybe even the universe.
Universe, yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. I remember that.
Yeah. There was another really funny story was when we were in Worthington, Minnesota. And we were playing a show. And this guy comes up to us in the middle of the set and he hands us a little piece of paper and he's like, here you go. Like, I'm giving you attention. Here you go. I'm awesome.
Listen, let's pause right there. Let's talk about when you're gigging. When was this? This is probably a couple years ago at least. Back when we were, I mean, not that we don't play. Maybe, who knows, we probably still going to play some shitty shows, but we were playing some shitty shows back then.
Yeah. This wasn't too bad of a show.
This wasn't too bad of a show, but we were quote unquote gigging a lot.
And it was a crowd that had come in late, didn't really know what was going on. I think they had just left like a wedding.
Yeah. Let's talk about those people though that come up to your stage that are just, you know, I'm gonna people are gonna probably turn off this podcast at this moment, but white privilege people that just come up to, you know, the stage and they just think that we're just a human jukebox.
Yeah.
And then that we're just there for, I mean, we are there for their entertainment, but
we're human beings.
We're humans at the end of the day. We can't just, you know. And so anyway, he comes up to us and he acts like he's trying to just, he's like, I'm going to give you guys some attention. And then finally like,
it's
paper.
like one of those guys, like envision like him coming up to you and handing you a little paper with like a little wink.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then what did the paper say?
The paper said something about like he wanted to play like some Rascal Flatts song for this girl named Tasha.
God Bless the Broken Road.
Yes. And
for Tasha.
I was like, for one, you just interrupted my fucking set. Like,
I think he came mid-song.
Yeah,
too.
mid-song, shoved this paper at me, wanted me to sing this fucking song, didn't even know my band name. Bullshit. I hate that. And so we were like, fuck this guy. And so
he did it like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he would keep bugging us about it. And so I finally got up from the mic. I was like, hey, Tasha, I hear it's your birthday. And it was not this girl's birthday.
And everybody was so confused.
And it was like a group of like 20 people. And they were like, it's Tasha's birthday? And they were like, guys, it's Tasha's birthday. And I was like, let's sing happy birthday to Tasha. And so we sang happy birthday to Tasha, even though it was not Tasha's birthday. And these motherfuckers were looking at us like, these people are so stupid. It's not Tasha's birthday.
And me and you and Lauren are just
We're just having the best
time.
We were dying. We were like, it's Tasha's birthday today. Yeah, so we like to do that if somebody does, you know.
If they're just inconsiderate, you know,
then
like while we're on stage.
We try to make them look a little stupid.
Like if they yell free bird, it's just kind of like, you got to buy everybody a shot now, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Or my favorite is when I'm trying to check the mic at sound check and there's like those stragglers there, those early
at
stragglers.
like 4 p.m.
Oh, check. Sounds good. You checked it. Good job.
Or they say, cash.
Yeah. And I'm like, please stop.
Cash thought that we were talking to him.
Aw, doggo Cashes. Tails wagging.
We have a dog named Cash.
He's looking at me like, huh?
Cash, come here. Cash.
Okay. Let's see.
Where's some other funny stuff?
I think it was just funny that like we used to travel and we would try to shove everything into our SUV, and like we had no room in the car, like to barely even sit. And it got to the point where we would just roll the windows down and shove stuff into the windows and then roll them back up so we could try to fit more stuff into our car. That's hilarious. I wrote that down.
Yeah. Poor Lauren in the back seat.
Yeah, she was just squished.
Oh my gosh.
And then, I don't remember where this gig was, but I remember we had been playing for about 2 hours, or this may have been one of those 4-hour gigs. We've been playing for hours, and there was not anybody there the entire time. Not a single person. So we just went ahead and went to the bar, and we were like, hey, can we end early? Like, there's just nobody here, and like, we just don't understand like why we're playing. It was supposed to be like this like costume party for Halloween, and not a single person showed up. I think because I think that the guy that was like running it was kind of like stupid. I don't know what happened there.
We were in Fort Scott, Kansas.
I knew it was in Kansas.
Yeah.
It had to be in Kansas to be this dumb. And so we went up to the bar and we were like, hey, can we stop? Blah, blah, blah. They contacted their boss. He wasn't even there. And he was like, no, if they want to get paid, they need to keep playing.
When there was nobody there.
So we played for another hour.
And the bartender's like, he has a check and he's bringing it up here in a little bit. Sorry, like we can't pay you yet. And I can't pay you until he gives me the money. And he said keep playing. So
yeah. So we played for like 4 hours in front of absolutely nobody. And then it finally got down to like the last 15 minutes. And we were like, we need to just stop. But they were like, no, you have to play. So we literally just like jammed for like ever.
We played, I literally remember ending this set on some like bullshit ass song. It was like Wagon Wheel or some crap like that.
Yeah, we just played it forever.
Yeah, so we were supposed to play until like 1 a.m. and it was like 12:45, and so we started this song. And then the song ended at like 12:50 maybe. Yeah. And so we literally jammed the same 4-chord progression.
Just for until our set was over.
And for 10 minutes.
Because we were fucking sick of it. We were like, they want us to play, we're playing.
And it was just so repetitive, but then like somebody would look at their phone and be like,
that was me. Yeah.
7 more minutes.
Yeah, we would scream it out. 4 more minutes.
That's good stuff.
That was funny.
All right, so let's move on to a couple of serious things. What is some advice that you have for people in the music industry? I can get more specific if you can't think of anything with that broad of a question. But what's some advice for some people? I'm just going to help you out. Whether it's musicians that are full-time, advice for males, advice for females, advice for other songwriters, advice for people trying to get into the touring aspect of stuff, or people trying to get into marketing, radio stuff.
That's still very broad. Could you narrow that down?
If there was a new musician that said, I want to make a record, I want to get out there, I want to tour, and he's sitting right here in our studio with us,
I'd say,
and said, I need to know what my first steps are.
Figure out if you're good. That's your first step. For real though, come on now. But no, seriously, that could take time. Practice. Get better than you are right now, I think, is a big one. I'm always trying to, I compare myself a lot to other people, but that's stupid because so many people are talented. You just need to be better than you are, than you. Like, you need to just get better.
Be better than you were yesterday.
Yeah, like, seriously, that's a real thing. Like, you need to get better at your instrument. You need to get better at writing. You need to get better at networking. You need to get better at having a personality, something that I had to work on.
I was literally about to say that I tell people all the time that me and you are like good cop, bad cop. And it's gotten better over the years. Like, it was literally, here's Autumn. She sings. She's going to sing. And then here's Sam. He's going to shake your hand. He's going to book the shows. He's going to,
Yeah.
play with Autumn while she sings, you know, all this stuff. But you've learned to be more social.
Yeah.
Which is, at the end of the day, unless you're
I think I've learned to like
know,
people more.
old, unless you're Willie Nelson, and you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, but as of right now, like, if you want somebody to play you on the radio, you have to look them in the eye. You gotta shake their hand. You gotta.
Yeah. Well, and I'm so much
you know.
more like, I don't know. I used to just be like, well, if the music's good, they need to listen to the music. They need to play the music. That's just stupid if they don't. But for me, it's like, now it's like, I don't know. A lot of this is just based off of just being nice, just being kind, and like really seeing other people as people. I used to think, I think I used to just zone people out and feel like I was the only real person on the earth. But like, everybody's just like a real person with their own emotions, and you're actually making these connections, and they're actually changing their lives, and they're changing yours, and it's like, I'm more into connection now than I used to be. I think I was burned a lot as like a kid on connections, but like now I'm like, I don't know. And I used to think I was too cool anyway. I used to think I was too cool for everybody.
Talk about how important good songwriting is.
I don't really know. I'm going to be flat out honest. I don't really know. Because I write my songs, but I can't from like really like an outsider's perspective see them. I don't really
That's
know
fair.
how good they are. Like, that's just what I write. You know, that's just what I'm feeling. I mean, obviously you can kind of tell the difference between a good song and a bad song, but I think there's so many different variations of what that is depending on who you are. Like, a lot of people don't like Nashville country. There's a lot of Nashville country songs I like. I think that it probably did take 10 co-writers to come up with that hook that sold that much fucking, you know, that they made that much fucking money off of that song.
Red Solo Cup had 4 writers on it.
That is a fucking banger.
That's a jam.
And it's a good song, and it's got good lyrics. It's clever, it's funny, it's melodic, it's like structured well, it's got great background vocals. Like,
I think that where Ragland has always stood as a band was, at the end of the day, if we fail,
yeah,
we did not put out shitty songs.
yeah, try not to do that.
We try to pride ourselves on good music.
Yeah.
You know, we've got 4 records out.
I think good music is really anything that you like put a genuine heart into. Like, if you're going in to make a record and you're like, I just want people to think I sound cool, you're not gonna make a good record.
Right.
But if you go in and you're like writing just because like that's what you feel and you want to make those connections with people and like give people something to relate to, that's gonna be good stuff. That's all that it takes, really.
I think you're right. All right, so let's I don't know. I guess we can just end this thing.
Oh, what's the last question? No, there's another question. I want to hear it.
Is there another question? I'm looking down on my sheet of notes that I was trying to talk about stuff.
Oh, you don't have any more, really?
Okay. If you could do one thing in the next... What's your goal in the next 5 years?
Goal in the next 5 years, get a publishing deal so I can
Okay.
write as a living. That's honestly like my big... I would love to just write songs every day. Because that's just what's easiest to me and brings me the most happiness. Maybe have another kid. That'd be pretty dope. Another little gremlin. I would like to be better at all my instruments. And I would like to hopefully be playing to big crowds that sing my songs.
Do you feel like the crowds for Ragland have gotten bigger in the last couple of years?
Yeah.
What do you think is the reason for all that success?
I mean, just like we were talking about, we were trying to get better every single day. I mean, I think we've just been pushing really, really, really hard at everything.
Do you think it was all the radio tour and all the...
Yes.
You know, people... Okay, here. Let's talk about this for a second. This is
Okay.
one thing that I really wanted to talk about. Let's talk about radio tour for a second. Before we get off of here.
Okay.
Now, if you're in radio and you're listening to this, if you listen to this whole entire podcast, listen. We hopefully came across as nice and Autumn came across as awake during all
That's
these.
literally what I was gonna say. Was not tired
Yeah.
because I was exhausted.
If you're in radio, please remember how exhausting radio tour can be. Explain. Okay, let's just take it back to the hardest radio tour was. 5.5 weeks straight
Yeah.
of what did we do? Like, I mean, I'm talking like it was spring of 2019, and this radio tour and the single for Footsteps really is what kind of pushed Ragland from being like a local gigging band to like a regional known band in like a matter of like 6 months. Talk about all that. Like radio tour. What comes to mind? What did we do? What's the process of it? What are some of the cold, hard truths of it? All that
Radio
stuff.
tour, you get up at 4 a.m, and then you go get some coffee, and then you drive 3 hours to a radio interview that starts at 7, maybe 4 hours if you gotta be there at 8. That's math, right? Okay. And then
You're doing good.
Thank you. And then you do the radio interview. Sometimes you meet somebody that's really cool. Sometimes they don't give a fuck about you. You hear the same questions at every single interview. Your
First time around.
First time around before they get to know you. You really try to like get to know these people. Then you get in the car. If you're me, you cry a little. And then you freshen up. If you're me, you also take a nap while Sam drives. And then you go to another radio interview, and then you do that one more time that day. And then you go to bed at like midnight, and then you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning again. And do the same thing. Sam would literally like, you would like, I'd hear the alarm go off, and you would just go, you take a deep breath and just shoot up out of bed.
Because
you
I knew
just
that.
Shoot up.
I knew that if I laid there for
any more than just a second, you wouldn't get up.
I would fall back asleep. Yep. We would get in. So here's how I remember it going. We'd get up at 4. We'd have an 8 a.m. We'd have a 12, and we'd have like an afternoon interview. It'd always be like morning, midday, afternoon.
Sometimes we had little, like, there was like a couple times we had like ones at night. It was like a show plus
like
interview.
Like a show /
Yeah, so we probably did at least 4 in one day at one point.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I remember multiple ones where we did 4 in one day. And
we were driving like at least 2 hours in between these radio interviews.
Yeah, it was crazy. We were getting an oil change every other week.
Yeah.
That's 3,000 miles every other week. It was plus maybe more than that, you know, because I never got a change there right at 3,000.
Yeah.
That was just not me. Maybe now. But so I remember, getting up, doing 3 interviews, and then you get a hotel wherever. Sometimes you have to play gigs on top of 3 radio interviews because you got to make money.
Yeah.
It's not free.
We were attempting not to do that, but it was...
We had to sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have to get a hotel. Sometimes you know people.
Yeah.
Luckily, my cousin lives in Northwest San Antonio.
Yeah.
Which was...
And we passed through there a lot, so
lot.
we were able to sleep at her house. Let me tell you, that bed, so beautiful.
Yeah.
That rock hard bed. That mattress was rock hard, really. So beautiful. I loved being there because I was sleeping.
Amber was behind so much of our success.
Oh my God, yeah. For sure.
She came to so many shows when nobody was there.
Oh my God, you're so right. Yeah, she would literally come to shows that it was like her and a friend.
Yeah. She always bring her friend or like her boyfriend or whatever. And she'd be just like talking stuff the whole time. Like, oh, they're going to be so big. Like,
I know.
Love their songs. And she would like request our songs like all the time. She was so cool. We're going to go see her again. But yeah, so radio tour was all that. And we did that for the first time we ever did it was 5.5 weeks. We literally did that 4 or 5 days a week for 5.5 weeks.
We did not have a kid at this time.
Yeah. And then on Friday and Saturday, we drive up to Oklahoma, Kansas, or maybe stay in Texas and play. Yeah. We'd play shows on Fridays and Saturdays. Sunday,
killed me.
We would drive to as close as we could be to wherever we needed to be Monday.
You just fed back somewhere. Something like, it was for like a second. It was hilarious. Like, that was
Feedback.
so weird. Huh?
I got feedback.
Yeah, like something hit, like so weird.
You're
just
not even
then.
wearing headphones.
No, like I heard something like hit like something. It squealed. I heard it.
Probably this chair that I'm sitting in.
No fucking way.
But yeah, so radio tour is crazy.
Very.
It's one of those things that like you think is really awesome. It really was. It really was a great meeting. So because we met so many people, we made so many friends and radio and just personal connections in a matter of weeks, and it was kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. But cool. Well, I don't really know how long this podcast was. All I can see is how many measures it was. If we were playing a song, it would be 2,734 measures. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2,737, 3, 4. That's really kind of what it would look like.
Yeah.
So
nice.
long ass podcast. I think that we kind of went and talked about everything.
Can I be on the next one?
You want to be on the next one? The next one I want to be talking about album cycles and kind of what that is.
Well, I could be on that.
Yeah, totally. Do it with me.
Do that.
Yeah. You gonna be around?
I don't know. I'll be here and there. I might be on the other side of the house, but you can call my name.
Okay. All right. I'll give you a ring.
Okay. Dope.
All right. So this is the Independent Musician's Guide podcast. I got to get all professional for the end of it. Thanks again to Buffalo Apparel and Rose Rock Coffee and my special guest, Autumn. Amber Ragland. Thank you for hanging out today.
I've been getting Adam a lot lately.
Adam?
Yeah.
That's weird. Why Adam? That's so weird.
I don't know. I just look like a man, I guess.
So where is it that they call you Autumn? OTOM?
Plato's Closet.
Plato's Closet.
They send me promotional texts, and it's OTOM.
This is the coolest shit ever.
Hey, OTOM, Autumn. I still remember the guy who took my information down, and that motherfucker typed in my name, OTOM, when I told him my name was Autumn. Now I get a text at least every month. Hey,
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, 20% off our cell rack.
And you're like, I'll be Autumn. I'll be Autumn for that.
Yeah.
Autumn.
No, I don't go to Plato's Closet anymore. Fuck that.
Who is it that doesn't know how to spell your name without an N? They're like, who spells your name without one? It was like some, is it PayPal or?
Oh, yeah. PayPal has like a glitch. Like if I pay somebody, it'll pop up as Autumn Ragland. Like they've sent me screenshots. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, if I pay for something online, you know how you can click like pay with PayPal? Yeah. It'll pop up and have my information. It'll be AUTUM. There's no N on the end.
That's weird.
I know. What the hell?
All right. Autumn. Ragland. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see y'all later.
Bye.